but we didn't decide who was going to open us up today. Welcome to another episode of RunTok Live. This is episode 43 that we are just shooting from the hip tonight. We literally have not discussed. We basically decided who was going to hit the record button right before we did, and didn't decide who was going to talk whenever we opened up. So lucky me, I'll break right in.
That means that it's probably going to be the funnest recording.
That means that this is going to be the best episode yet.
And we have no idea what we're going to talk about. We're just going to talk. What happens when three runners
from different parts of the country
with different running stories
all get together?
Pure
RunTok
madness.
So listen in as we talk about all things running related.
And some things that maybe aren't running related.
As it's bound to be a good time. This is
RunTok Live.
I'm just going to talk. There's stuff to talk about. We got a marathon coming up. Everybody's got marathons coming up who's doing fall marathons. Track's coming to a close. Paralympics are going on right now. I don't know if you guys are following that at all, but
I am religiously following the archery.
The archery? The one guy that was shooting with his foot. I saw that the other day.
Matthew Stutzman, I think is his name. And I saw his first round. He was against a guy from India, and they were both just shooting 9s, 10s, whatever. And then Matthew in his last round, the medal round, his last shot was a straight bullseye. And it was absolutely beautiful.
I have not been watching it, but now I feel like I should.
There's a lot going on. And then goal ball, which I feel like is kind of, is it like soccer-ish?
So I coached goal ball because I used to coach for Special Olympics. And yeah, it's essentially a mixture of soccer and hockey for those that are visually impaired, right? And they have the little bell on the ball. But those balls, by the way, are hard, number one. And it's crazy what they do. Like, just jumping in front of those balls to block them. Like they can't see it. They can only hear it. Like, it's crazy.
I've heard it gets intense, and like they end up like tackling each other and all that. I'm like, you know what? I will watch.
And I've never heard of that one, goal ball. We'll have to check it out.
Yeah, there's also they call it power soccer, where it's soccer and it's electric wheelchairs only. I don't know if they have this in the Paralympics, but it is a sport within the Special Olympics. And it's they have kick plates on the that surround where your feet are on the wheelchair, and then you're just using the stick, and you would kick with the kick plates on the wheelchair.
That is so cool.
And it's a bigger ball too. It's a pretty big soccer ball.
Oh, okay. I'll have to watch that.
Yep, very interesting.
And there's some fun sports in there. And I coached wheelchair basketball. And I would get in the wheelchairs and play with them, which, by the way, is hard as heck. So, yeah, no, it's fun stuff. Now you got me motivated, Carolyn. I'm going to watch it.
It's wild. And then they have something called like Gold Zone or whatever, and it shows you highlights from all the sports. You can click one of the broadcasts, and it gives you 4 different sports going on at the same time. It's awesome. So, still got another week of Paralympics.
Right. Well,
yeah,
I know
I've not been keeping up with it like I did the regular Olympics, but
yeah,
I've seen some of the highlights over there. That's looking pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've determined it's mine and Chase's favorite time of the year, Olympics aside, because it is fantasy football time.
Fantasy football season. It's football season, but specifically fantasy football season. So yep, had my drafts this past weekend. I have 2 main leagues that I do one of them that I've been doing for like 15 years, and the other one that's it's a keeper league, so you get to keep 5 people out of it every year. But I actually paid in money to keep a few more people because my team was that good. So I had to keep them together. You have to pay your players a little bit if you want to keep them together. So
Yep. I also have 2 leagues. I'm pretty proud of both of my drafts this year. Both of them are 12-person leagues. So
what pick did you get?
so one I was 3rd, and the other one I was 8.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would prefer to have the 8 over the 3, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Because I like having those 2 closer picks at the end and beginning of the rounds there.
Yeah. I was sweating a little bit. I had the first overall draft pick, so I don't like.
It's hard. Yeah.
It's so hard because like there's pluses and minuses, right? You get the best player, or you get whatever player you want, right?
Yeah.
You get whatever player you want, but then you have to wait so long because we do a snake draft for the redraft league, so you have to wait so long before you pick again. But that's all right.
Did you follow the trend and pick up Christian McCaffrey as your number 1 pick?
Not for this league, no. So this league that we have is very pass friendly.
Okay.
It's PPR plus it's big play bonus. So I picked up the your Cowboy. I picked up CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
I picked up CeeDee Lamb, and then I stacked that with Dak in the 6th round, I think. So I've got that CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott hookup. Hopefully they're wanting to play for some money this year.
Well, the good news is they don't have running backs on their teams, so they're going to be passing a lot. You getting all this, Carolyn? You taking notes?
Yeah, you gotta. These are primo fantasy football tips right here. I did win this league that I drafted CeeDee Lamb in. I won that league last year, so I've got a nice shiny belt that I get to put on display all year long. And then my other league I got runner up in. So I'm not saying that I'm good at fantasy football. I'm just saying, look at the results. That's
the numbers don't lie.
Right? The numbers don't lie, right?
We need to do one of these times, one of these seasons. We need to do a RunTok, TikTok, whatever you want to call it, fantasy draft. How we're going to pick the 12 people to participate, I don't know.
The Olympics would have been great, and I really thought about it, but I think you could really easily do it, and it'd be a lot of fun.
I think it would be. You could probably do a couple. Yeah, do a couple leagues even, like, if you get enough people.
We'd probably set it up for like Worlds next year, maybe.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Fantasy track and field. If you've ever done a fantasy track and field season before, or you got any ideas, share them with us. But I think that it would go just like a basic track and field event, right? Like you pick your athletes, and if they win, you get 10 points, and if they get second place, you get 8 points, and whoever has the most points. Yeah.
It's just kind of like, again, like our Grand Prix series that we compete in here. Like you score all the way down to 8th place, anywhere from 30 points down to 2 points or whatever 8th place is. Yeah, do it the same way. Do a fantasy draft Grand Prix special RunTok edition.
It's on the calendar for next year. We're making it happen. Fantasy RunTok.
Do it. Carolyn's got a smile. I know you're secretly excited, Carolyn. Don't try to hide it.
We've got her into track and field now, so.
Okay. I'm into Paralympics. So if I get into athletes and track and field and football, y'all gotta get more into Paralympics. Okay? Like
I can easily get into it. I can commit to that.
Okay. Perfect.
I think it would be fun. I think it's accessibility though. Where are you watching it?
Peacock.
NBC, Peacock. Same as the regular Olympics.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. Maybe I'll put it on tomorrow while I'm working.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like I'm in the dark with like football or track and field and stuff. It's just I don't feel like I'm confident enough to pick players and actually stand a chance in a league.
What's fun though is you're usually that one random person in the league that has no clue what they're doing that wins money.
Yeah. Just, oh, he looks fun, and just pick him.
I always like to share the story about March Madness, and I don't know if I've told you guys before, but back in high school, we used to do a big March Madness pool in our class every year, and I'll never forget my senior year. The girl who won solely on she made her picks on which teams had the prettiest colors. So it was like all of her guesses throughout the entire tournament, and she won. So
That's what
so
I
yeah,
would do.
it's just a matter of it's not an exact science.
I stopped bringing my wife when I lived in New York. We would go to this Super Bowl party every year, and we would buy Super Bowl squares, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'd literally, they're $5 a square. I'd probably buy 10 of them for myself. And then my wife would be like, "Oh, I'll buy one," right? And she pitches in $5, and then she'll win like two quarters that she'll win, and she only bought one square. I spent $50 on squares. She spent 5. She'll win all the money, and she did that twice, 2 years in a row. And the third year, I told her she can't come. So
That's so funny.
she had to work that night. So. But Chase, you brought up a fun question. I don't know if any of you actually did this. I did it because I had fun with it. But what would like our fantasy running team, if we were to put together a running fantasy league or team, what would you put? Who would be on your team, right?
So
I
yeah,
actually,
you'd have to consider the point system, right? Just like in regular fantasy football, right? You got to consider the system, the points. I would think the people that are going to do more than one event, right? They're going to have a leg up, right? So you'd think like Noah Lyles, if he does the 100 and the 200, right? He's going to be a high draft pick because he's going to give you more opportunities to score, right? But
okay. I picked under different thoughts. I was picking like, okay, if you pick Noah for the 100, he's off the board. You can't pick him for the 200.
and maybe that's the stipulation you have to figure out. Maybe you pick a person, but you have to plug and play. Decide which event you want to play them in. If you're going to
Well,
take Jakob Ingebrigtsen, are you going to play him in the 1500 or the 5?
I'm gonna play
What's it
him in
going
the
to be?
5 every time.
Yeah.
I always want to play him in the 5.
So yeah, those are I don't know. Like I guess those are the rules that we would have to establish.
So ironically, Jakob Ingebrigtsen is not on my team.
He's not?
I picked from the 100 to the marathon. 100,
Okay.
200, 400, 800, 1500 mile, 5K, 10K, and marathon. And he did not make my team. Now that and actually I didn't even think about that until you just said that.
So go ahead and go through your list. Who made your 100? Who you're picking at
Well,
100 meters?
I did. So I went male and female too, just so you know. But I only had one female on here, and that's for the 100. I put Sha'Carri Richardson on there. For the 200, I went Noah, and the reason why I went Noah on the 200 over the 100 is because, and you've even pointed out the fact, his top end speed is far better than his start speed, and I feel like he's just a better 200 runner at the end of the day than he is a 100 runner. So I went with Noah Lyles. 400, I went Quincy Hall. 800, I kind of went with an American for this, knowing that he's not the best, but I went Bryce Hoppel.
USA. USA. He wasn't far off. American record holder.
Yeah. Now this is where you guys are going to probably question me a little bit. The 1500, I went Josh Kerr.
I couldn't go American there, huh?
Yeah, I didn't. I did go American on the mile, but not the American you probably think I would. I actually went Yard and a Goose in the mile.
Yard and a Goose.
I can see that.
And then the 5K, I went, and the only reason I picked him is because he has the same name as me. I went Jacob Kropp, not Jakob Ingebrigtsen.
Jakob Ingebrigtsen.
I had to go with the Jacob.
He's got the same name.
And then the 10K, I did go with Grant Fisher. And then the marathon, I went with Kublagat.
Okay.
That was my team. So some questionable ones on there. I'm fully aware of it.
No, that's solid. I mean, obviously, Noah Lyles didn't win the 200, but yeah, he was dealing with COVID at the time. Quincy Hall, gold medal winner in the 400. Bryce Hoppel finished what, 4th at Paris?
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and then Josh Kerr, he's could have put him in the mile, could have put him in the 1500.
He's going to be racing in the New Balance 5th Avenue mile in New York City here in a few weeks.
Now, is that the one where they also do?
Actually, that's next week. That's this weekend.
Maybe, I don't know if it's that one. They do, like, they also have like a race within the race where it's the fastest 800 within the mile. Yeah,
Yep,
okay.
that's the one.
Because you get those people that just go balls
Yeah,
out
you
for
get
the
like
800.
a bonus if you hit you hit the half mile split in a certain time, and then if you hit that half mile and hit a certain time, I think it's sub 5 for the full mile or sub 4 for the full mile, then you get another bonus on top of it.
Okay.
So yeah, you're right, Jake. If you watch that race, you don't there's always somebody that's trying to lead at the halfway point so that they can get that halfway bonus.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they drop back to the very back. They do a cool down basically for the last half of the mile.
They do
But
it.
no, yeah, obviously with some. Oh, sorry, Carolyn, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just saying they pull a Jakob in the 1500 and just coast.
Yeah.
Yep.
Too soon. Too soon.
So if we're talking about like fantasy track and field, but if the point system, say you can play somebody in multiple spots, right? Would you choose Noah Lyles or Jakob Ingebrigtsen first?
Jakob Ingebrigtsen.
Think Jakob Ingebrigtsen's got a better chance of doubling in the 1500 and the 5 than Noah does in the 1 and the 2?
So I think with the 1 and the 2, it's too close of a margin for, it's just too close. It's too close. Jakob, I think, could separate himself in either distance if he wanted to and kind of dominate it. Noah, while he dominates in like victories and medal counts, he doesn't necessarily dominate in time over second place or third place. Like it's close.
What if, like, say we do this for like Worlds next year? What if we include relays? So now you've got so now Noah Lyles gets a quarter of the 4x1 relay points, right?
Oh, why are you doing this to me, man?
It's fantasy football season, man. These are legit questions that you have to consider when drafting your team. Carolyn knows.
Okay.
I do.
If you're asking me the tough questions, who would be your 4x1 mixed relay team? Mixed.
For 4x1?
Yep.
I would take Lyles. I would pick. Okay, so circumstances, right? If is it gonna go guy, girl, or girl, guy?
Let's go girl, guy, girl, guy.
Girl, guy. I'd probably go Gabby Thomas in the first. Fred Curley. No. Yeah, no, I go Fred Curley at 2, Sha'Carri Richardson 3, and Noah Lyles 4.
Okay. Yeah,
That's an
the
all-American
advantage.
team. That's an all-American team. If I got to pick out like an all everybody, then it'd be different. But I don't think you can really do that, like, because they don't do like teams that way.
I feel like Noah Lyles would be a better contribution to USA scoring on a relay team if he was the final leg of the relay team versus the start, right? Because we talk about his starting speed, and especially if he's starting out of a block.
Yeah.
Being able to start standing up, I think, actually plays to his advantage. So
Yeah. And then he gets to get that top end speed in the last leg.
Yep.
That, because otherwise he's having to slow himself down to the point to hand off the baton, right? So if he's doing the last leg, he can get to his top end speed.
Nice. All right, guys, I got a fun question. Carolyn, the three of us are on a relay team. We're doing the 4x mile. Who are we picking from the world of RunTok to be the fourth person on our relay team?
Are we having to? What are the stipulations here? Are we trying for a PR, or do we have to keep it mixed? Is it 2 guys, 2 girls? What do we?
You know where
What
we
are the
should.
rules?
We got Carolyn. Yeah, we need another girl. So it's got to be another girl. And we are we trying for a PR? Yeah, we're trying for a PR. We're trying. Yeah, we're trying to run our best possible time for sure.
Okay.
Mhm.
Do y'all follow Sarah? I forget her TikTok name. She is a track runner. So I
She's a
would.
track runner. Is she a
Yep.
miler? Is she a miler?
I don't know. I just know she's very fast.
Yeah.
I have to look her up now.
Her name is Sarah Influx on TikTok.
Yeah, I know who she is. I just didn't know what her main events were.
I don't know. I feel like she's a miler or less.
She might be, yeah.
Because I always see her on a track running ridiculously fast.
All right, Sarah. Carolyn's picking Sarah Influx.
Oh, are we all picking somebody? Is that?
We're all picking somebody.
Well, I don't know.
For the world to listen to here.
That would have been my pick, so I'm not.
She honestly would have been probably up there as one of my picks.
Right. Oop. Let's see. I guess if she's taking Sarah, then I'll go.
All right, I know who my pick is, unless Chase snipes her from me.
Give me Julie. We just did the Run Physios in our last episode, so that's what I'm thinking.
Julie? Okay.
Yeah, I'll take Julie.
I'm going with most likely Lauren. And I always forget what she calls herself on TikTok, though.
She's the Lauren, the nutritionist.
Lauren, runner, and RD. Run to the table. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's right, you guys. That's our dream team right there. Our dream 4x1 mile. Carolyn's going to start us off. That means the next. I don't know. I'm definitely the slowest between me and Chase, so I'm going after Carolyn. So.
Perfect.
Speaking of which, my Garmin, guys, which lies to me a lot. I literally just posted a video right before this. According to my Garmin, I am ready to run a 2:43 marathon.
Hey.
Let me tell you, I am not ready to run a 2:43 marathon. So I'm glad my Garmin has all this confidence in me. It tells me I can run a 17:01 5K, a 1:18 half, which, in all honesty, a 1:18 half, because for whatever reason I'm a pretty strong half runner, isn't out of the question. But a 1701 in New York, I think I could potentially do. A 1701 here, no way. And 243, I'm not touching. Like, I'm 255 is my goal. But I'm glad Garmin, has confidence in me. I don't know if you checked your race predictor times lately.
My marathon race predictor time is really low. And I'm like, I keep remembering that Texas is, we're still in summer, it's still hot outside, so that's literally my heat prediction.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I wonder what I have an idea of what the data is based off of, but
Mhm.
I don't get how it's calculated to get those specific numbers. Like,
I don't
what makes Garmin think I can run a 243 right now? I can't. So I can't. I don't get it. You're
I
still
don't
using
know. You
Garmin.
guys know how I feel about Garmin. I don't feel like it's like I switched over to Garmin because I thought it was going to be more accurate and whatnot, and it just hasn't been. So I like it. I don't mind my Garmin so much, but I miss my Apple Watch.
Do you?
Yeah.
I've never actually tried the Apple Watch, so I can't knock it. I can't justify it. Like, what did it? If you don't
I
mind me
mean,
asking,
if
what did
you're
it
somebody that
cost?
likes all those metrics, then
Yeah.
Garmin's definitely going to be better for you. But I mean, just as far as just everyday functionality, just Apple Watch is better. If you're somebody that doesn't care about all the different running metrics and all the different numbers that Garmin gives you, just get yourself an Apple Watch. If you're an iPhone person,
We're all iPhone people here, right?
I think so.
That's
Yeah,
right. Good choice, guys.
I'd still like to try a Koros at some point, but I'm kind of over Garmin. Done my experiment, not impressed. Moving on.
Well, speaking of experiment, how's your Brooks shoe experiment going?
So pretty good. I got the Hyperion Max 2s a few weeks ago. They are up there on the shelf. Um, so I had such a good experience with the Ghost Maxes that I wanted to give Brooks another try, and I had um some long runs coming up on the calendar that I needed to mix in some tempo with. So I looked around for a good shoe that would fit that kind of workout, and that's what I landed on. And so far so good. They're feeling pretty good. The first few runs felt really amazing. Like they just felt snappy and poppy. And what I really like about Brooks right now is that you're getting a lot of foam underneath you and you're getting the responsiveness from your foam, but I don't feel like it's super soft and super squishy like the Nike Invincible Run Fly Knits or the New Balance Fresh Foam More V4s. Like all that foam is, I'm not like super squishy and I'm not moving around a whole lot. They're pretty stable. So I like those. My feet were hurting a little bit after my last long run in them, but so far so good. I've had a pretty good experience with my last couple shoes from Brooks.
And Carolyn, didn't you get a pair of the Vapor or Alphas not too long ago, right?
Vapors, yeah.
Vapors.
I wore them for Chicago last year.
And are you still using them? Are they no?
No, I feel like I got Chicago out of them, and then I got 2 half marathons, and then the shoes just like died. They just kind of lost their spring. So my new racers are going to be the A6 Metaspeed Sky Paris. I don't know. I can't race in Brooks, but I use them for speed, like training. All my training runs are done in Brooks, but as far as racing goes, I feel like I need something different. In the Metaspeed Sky Parises, I did a half in them last weekend, and no pain at all. I didn't need any recovery time, none of that business, and they're really light, so that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I'll be sporting the. I thought I had them in here, but I don't. But I'll have the Alpha Fly 3s, the Olympic editions. Chase didn't like the color scheme of those ones, like orange and spotted ones.
No,
I
those are
like
ugly as shit.
I liked them for that reason. I was like, man, these are wild. I love the wild look. So
That's my
I'll be.
problem. That's my problem with the Alpha Flies, and you and I have talked about it, Jake. But like, I really wanted a pair of Alpha Fly 3s. I wanted to try them out, but God, the colors are so awful. Like they're so bad. Like that Olympic one with like the leopard print on it. Like what was
Yeah,
that? Like God, that was awful. And then they
totally
did
wrong
this
for
like
it.
pink and purple like grape looking thing. Like I don't know what was going on there either.
Look at this is the
Um,
box for it. The box for it right here. I love it. Yeah, that's
oh,
awesome.
Jesus. Like what in the world are they thinking? Like
Oh,
God, it's so ugly.
here's the shoe bag that comes with it.
Oh
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
it. It's wild. I like the
They're
wild
pretty
look.
bad. That's pretty bad, dude. That's pretty bad. So anyway, I'll be breaking my tradition of Nike shoes and on race day shoes. I'm getting the Asics Metaspeed Skies also, or hopefully anyway. I've got them ordered, but they're on back order. I'm hoping to get them in time for my half marathon here in less than 2 weeks now.
Yeah, they feel so good. And, I tried all the different brands when I was getting my racer, and a lot of them, like, don't fit your shoe or fit your foot unless you have a wider foot. So that was my issue. I didn't want to get blisters.
Well, I have yet to give like the 2024 edition of Brooks a shot, a fair shot, I should say. I've tried some shoes on, um, so I don't have enough data to bash them for 2024 yet. Uh, I'm not confident though that they're going to meet my expectations, but I think I might be purchasing a pair of Brooks in the
I mean,
coming weeks.
both the Ghost Max 2 and the Hyperion Max 2s are fantastic. Like the Ghost Max 2s are my long run shoes, and they're very comfortable, very cushiony. And then the Hyperion Max 2s are so bouncy. Like I did a tempo or like a marathon pace effort in them today, and I had to slow myself down
I'll
because
tell you, my favorite plated shoe that I don't race in is the New Balance Fuel Cell Elites. The Fuel Cell Elites are awesome. And I do use them for tempos, and I'll use them for fast stuff, and you could use them for racing. I just don't because I prefer my Nikes, but those are great shoes that I highly recommend to people looking to break into the plated shoe industry if you're doing it for the first time.
yes, yeah. And
I'll
they're
try
all
some Brooks.
they all pretty much cost the same now. So like you're gonna be spending $250 to $300 for a racer. So I mean,
Nobody's
try.
gonna try those Adidas $500 whatever illegal super shoes that we're not gonna get in trouble for it. We're not breaking any records in them, so maybe we do actually. Who knows?
Are those actually illegal?
They're illegal to use in like you wouldn't be able to use them in the Olympics, or there's certain races that they're illegal to use in.
Mm.
Yeah.
And you can't if you're wearing those shoes. I don't know. I read up on it, so don't quote me on this if you're listening. But there's certain like it won't count towards world records or something like there's rules against it, but obviously you can use it in your local 5K, and it's not going to make a difference, or a smaller marathon. But
Then I'm wondering why elites wear them during like the Olympics or during these major marathons. Because what if they set a world record? Like that.
well, don't quote me on the record piece. I know they say the word illegal,
Mhm.
but exactly what that illegal entails, I don't know 100%. I'd have to do some more research on that.
Yeah, because they meet the size specifications, right? The 38 millimeter stack in the heel is all they are, and 40 is the max. So I'd be curious to see what it is.
Yeah, let me see. And yeah, I'd have to do some. A lot of them are just trainers too. Like, what's the one? Saucony has one that's technically considered illegal.
Saucony has one?
Yeah, they call them super trainers.
Yeah, like the Adidas Prime X.
Yeah, the Prime X2, the Adidas Audi Zero Prime X.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's. I'm looking at that one right now. That one's pretty intense. Yeah, there's quite a few of them up there. There's some shoes where they have 2 plates on them now, so they'll actually have a plate and a stack of foam, and then another plate, and then the foam. Like they're getting wild with it.
Is it what benefit does that have?
I'll let you know when I wear them one day, which I probably never will. So
When you win the lottery.
we'll see.
Jeez.
I do have the Asics Super Blast, by the way. Those have been a recent purchase of mine. I have the Nova Blast and I have the Super Blast. And I do like those. And then the New Battle Fuel Cell, I have the Elites, but I see here the Super Comp Trainers too, which is another good shoe. Yeah, the Audi Zero Prime X2 Strung by Adidas, $300. Even the Cloud Clips is another one that's technically illegal. By OnCloud.
You seen that new Puma one, right? You seen that one?
I remember when we were talking to Runner Dad Bod.
Yeah.
And he was talking about those, before they were released. So I haven't seen. Have they been released yet? I haven't seen.
Yeah. If you look them up on Running Warehouse right now, it's the Fast RB Nitro Elite. The stack height, they're very, very much illegal. The stack height comes out to 66 millimeters in the heel, but you're not even like on the ground. Like it's just weird looking. Like you're not even on the ground while you're measuring it.
So basically, Carolyn will be as tall as us if she wears those shoes.
No
Maybe,
joke.
yes.
They literally look terrible. Half the shoe is not even on the ground.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. You can't even measure the 66 millimeters.
Ooh. So
And what's the price point on those?
$350. Yeah. To look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we'll be getting those at First Place Sports here in Florida, probably, unfortunately.
I don't think we'll be getting them at Chase Adams' home for local runners here.
Yeah. Unless Puma is listening and they would like us to test.
They really want me to try that thing out. Yeah. Puma, I like you, but that thing is goofy looking. There's no way in hell that thing is a good running shoe.
It's like those.
But I'll try it out if you want to see me a pair.
Remember back in the 90s when they had those, they built those shoes that were designed to make your vertical
make you jump higher, right?
Yeah. I don't know if you ever saw those, Karen. It was like only the forefoot of your foot actually touched the ground. You were constantly on your toes the whole time. And you're supposed to wear them while you were playing basketball or practice jumping in them.
That sounds okay. That's an ankle injury waiting to happen, honestly.
Yeah, what were those called?
They were big for a while. Like they were the next big thing.
Yeah, what were they? Oh my goodness.
Well, some individual left a review on Puma, and they said it's not just a running shoe; it's a human flying gadget. Like, okay, okay. That's what it looks like. Okay. Yeah, no thank you.
Chase is trying to research what those shoes are called now.
I remember them, man.
That's
I do
that's back
remember them. I just gotta. Wasn't
back
Jump
when they had,
99.
because you're right, those are ankle breakers, like 100%. So they're, what was the? Well, then the LA Gear pumps. That was another
Yeah,
fun
those
shoe.
are fun.
Forgot about that brand.
So what is this? I'm going to look this up. 90s shoe that made you jump higher. Let's see what comes up. Oh,
Ah,
I can see some vintage versions on eBay.
right?
Ooh, what are they going for?
$70, like $80, around there. Some knockoff versions on Amazon. Who knows? Maybe I'll buy a pair. I'll give a pair away on RunTok.
Wow, this is exciting.
Good stuff. Yeah, they're just called, like, there's Jump 99. Is that what they were
Yeah,
called?
there was another brand, right? There was another.
Yeah.
It was something else.
Oh, I see the Puma shoe now. That's exactly what that Puma shoe reminds me of.
Yeah,
It's so bad.
I was just going off your description, and now I see it. And
yeah.
yeah, that's 100%. So basketball players should get that Puma shoe. Like if you're a track and field athlete and you just happen to be a high jumper and a distance runner, this might be the shoe for you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Speaking of that, so of heptathletes, because that's essentially what you're talking about. So our Brooks convention is happening this weekend, and Sherry Hawkins, who is a heptathlete for Brooks, she was at the Olympics. She's gonna be there, so we're gonna get to hang out with her. So
Very cool.
Where is
basically,
it at again?
huh?
Where is it?
It's in Chicago.
Okay.
Yep. So what I'm saying is we need to get these shoes to give them to her, okay? To just like keep her motivated, keep her going.
I just don't understand. I gotta look up some YouTube videos. I don't understand how this shoe functions. Like,
Don't know. Jump 99. What in the?
well, I'm talking
They
about the
literally look like
Pumas.
clown shoes.
I think it might have just been
Listener,
Jump Souls. Was it Jump Souls?
that sounds more like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was just Jump Souls. But yeah, those Puma shoes look pretty goofy. Faster RB Nitro Elite.
Mm-mm.
Look them up, listener. Look up those Puma shoes, and you'll see that we're not crazy or just making
We are
anything
not
up.
crazy.
They are psychotic looking.
No, Carolyn, I looked at the after my recent good experience with the Hyperion Max 2s. I looked at like the Hyperion Elite 4s. I was like, well, maybe Brooks doesn't have a bad racing shoe. Like these feel really good. These feel really peppy and snappy.
Mhm.
But no, the Hyperion Elites just get awful reviews.
So, and that's why I say I haven't found a good racer for Brooks. I mean, I'll wear everything else, but that's the only time I will go outside of the brand. I feel like the technology, it's great for training. And I know a lot of people that really like the Hyperion, Elite, but I think if anything, the Hyperion Max is gonna be a good racer.
So, if you remember, the Brooks Hyperion shoe is the shoe that ruined Brooks for me. And it's just been all downhill from there. From their sizing, which was way, way off, and I don't know if it was just a one-off with me, but the fact that it would happen for two, I had to size way up, and then I had to size way up again because the size that they sent me was still off. I was like, man. And then, getting the tear at the bottom of the shoe after just putting it on, and getting plantar fasciitis after wearing it for literally like 6 miles. Like, I was like, all right, this shoe is garbage. Like, I hate this shoe so much. And then all other shoes after that, I just, I didn't like them.
Man, I'm sorry. I mean, I really like the Hyperion Max 2s for sure. Like, I feel like they're way different than the originals.
Yeah, so far so good. Like I said, I had that little bit of pain, like just kind of discomfort. It's more like a burning sensation in the forefront of my my foot during my last long run, but that was about it. I've really been impressed with, like I said, how snappy they are and how much cushion I'm getting. But it's not, like I said, it doesn't feel like I'm sinking into them. So pretty cool.
Carolyn, when is the? Because I feel like we're getting close. Like, when do they start taking applications again for the Brooks Run Happy team?
Oh Lord, probably November.
Okay, I'm gonna apply again.
No, you're not.
We've
yeah,
been
I'm applying again.
blacklisted, Jake.
Yeah, I'm
We've
applying
been
again.
completely
100%.
blacklisted.
Oh, goodness.
One of these years, they're just gonna accept me just to, out of hopes that I will stop talking crap about them. So,
I mean, they closely monitor our social media, like all
Okay.
socials.
Listen,
So you gotta be.
I'm giving this opportunity to Brooks. Let's look at it this way. This is an opportunity for Brooks to convert a Brooks hater into a Brooks lover. If they're that confident in their product, they should confidently be able to accept me onto their Brooks Run Happy team and prove the world wrong and myself that Brooks is an amazing running shoe. Because I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's only their shoes that I can't stand. All their other product I like.
I feel like Brooks has enough clout that they wouldn't. There's so many people that love Brooks, and they're like, we're just gonna accept those lovers of the Brooks.
I'm marking this. What time are we at? I'm gonna take a clip of this recording. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna tag Brooks in it, and I'm gonna say, now's your chance, Brooks.
Goodness, they're
I
signing.
mean, like I said, I'm coming around. I think mine was one of the Brooks Ravennas back in the day, one of the early Ravenna models, or maybe one of the Glycerin models. I don't remember, but I was definitely anti-Brooks shoes for a long, long time. And the Ghost Max is what brought me back around. So don't know if I'll get the Ghost Max 2, but we'll see. But I've had a good experience these last 2 shoes. If you're listening, Brooks.
Yep.
I'm not begging forgiveness. I'm not taking away any words I've said in the past. All right, I still feel the way that I feel, but you're coming back around for me.
This
I
is
do
so
believe it was just last October when me and someone else from this podcast took a picture in front of a Brooks Run Happy logo at a marathon in Indianapolis with our thumbs down. So,
that Brooks is gonna see that.
well, they already saw it. It's not like they're gonna see it. That's already been saw. That's in the
I
past,
think we
right?
tagged him in it, right?
Yeah. That's water under the bridge.
Oh my gosh. No, thank you.
Well, I am going to apply, and it's just going to be fun. And then I'm going to make a video when I get the denial email. And then we'll continue this cycle for as long as it takes until one of us breaks. All right. Either I'm going to legit become a Brooks fan because their shoe is going to wow me one day, or they're going to make me become a Brooks fan.
They've signed so many cool athletes recently that they should also sign Jacob Irwin, right?
Why not?
Like, that's fine, right?
I can see
All
the
we're saying
commercial now. Jake was a Brooks hater. For 7 years, he could not stand Brooks' shoe. his horror story of the Hyperion elites and whatever, and then build into, but look at Jake now, and show me running happy with a smile on my face in slow motion, wearing a pair of Brooks shoe.
Look
Just
like
telling you.
Greg jumping all over the place with a big old grin on his face.
Let's do it. Oh, yeah, that's the opportunity here. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. No, I am applying. I've already applied. I think you did too, Chase, for the alter ego ambassadorship again. Hopefully that goes well. And then I'm actually I'm looking into features. They have an
Ooh.
ambassador program,
That's cool.
and that would be one that I would really like to be a part of. So,
I love their socks. I only wear their socks.
oh yeah, that's the only sock I wear too, for
That's
running, I should say.
I prefer CEP myself, but I've got a couple pair of features that I don't mind.
CEP, in my opinion, does have the better compression. If you are looking for compression, which I do like. So I do have some CEP, and I do like them as well. But yeah, for any kind of longer miles, I definitely wear features.
Mm-hmm.
I started noticing some holes in some of my CEP compression socks the other day, and it made me realize that I spend so much money on shoes. I need to start investing some of that money in
Into
socks and clothes and stuff.
Or why not just, throw that aside and let's just get into barefoot running.
Hey, I got beat by a guy in a marathon who was a barefoot runner. And I want to say it was Chicago. That the dude just like trotted by and lived his life. And I was like, sir, you're on the road. And he just trotting along.
Yeah, barefoot. I mean, I'm looking it up right now. The fastest marathon run in bare feet. Holy cow! 2 hours and 15 minutes and 16 seconds.
Yeah.
Was that a was that
Ethiopian.
an Olympic? Was that an Olympic marathon?
Well, it was, but it was back in the 60s.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I
1960
remember
Olympic
that
Games
that
in Rome.
anniversary was pretty recent, but the guy won the Olympic marathon one year barefoot. The anniversary was pretty recent.
That cannot be comfortable. I mean, I'm sure you figure out how to make it comfortable, but I feel like it just wouldn't be comfortable for the average person.
Mm-mm.
The world record for the marathon set in Crocs was just recently happened. Let me look it up.
It was probably the Croc kid and his family.
Croc Kid? That's exciting.
Have we not talked about that kid on here before?
No. I don't
I
think
think we
so.
mentioned him actually, yeah, because I remember.
Yeah, we
complaining about
mentioned
Croc.
him on here before because all he does is racing Crocs. Like that's the thing. I saw him at a race one time.
That's delightful. Well, the world record for a marathon in Crocs is 2 hours and 58 minutes and 24 seconds.
Huh. I feel like he would be faster than that because he was at a half marathon one year in Indianapolis that I ran in, and he smoked me. Like he set the world record for a half marathon in Crocs. I think it was well under 110.
Yeah,
So-
106.33.
Yeah,
Good grief.
because I remember seeing him. There's one part of the race where you're going out one way and back the other, and I saw him on the other side of the road. I was like, "Holy crap, that's the Croc kid!" I tried looking for him at the end of the race to get my picture with him, but I couldn't. He had just had an article in like Runner's World when that happened.
Would you ever do a beer mile, Chase? Have you done a beer mile?
I've not done one. I would at least give it a shot. Why not?
Yeah.
For fun.
What about you, Carolyn?
I think doing a beer mile sounds terrible and fun at the same time.
The high school here, and I actually got invited to it, and I might participate. They do a chocolate milk mile. And that's more up my alley because you guys know I can't, I don't drink alcohol, but chocolate milk mile, probably just as hard. I might do it. I'm
Is it
gonna be sick, but I'll do it.
is it in the summertime or the winter?
It's coming up here in a couple weeks.
Oh my goodness. I could not do it if it was hot outside. That just sounds terrible.
Yeah, I'm gonna inquire about it. I'm gonna have to turn that into a video too.
They also have a mile race where you run in blue jeans.
Oh
It's
yeah.
called like the denim mile.
Well, there's a couple of different names for it. The Gene Mile is another one, but yeah. Well, didn't I think when we were talking to Craig Engels, I think he had mentioned that he had done one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Either
had done
had
a
or that he wanted to, something like
yeah,
that.
or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, which would be fun. I would do that. That's
too.
almost just as hard wearing jeans in Florida, especially if it's in the summertime. So,
hmm
oh, good times.
Yeah, I'd be
So we got
willing to try out a beer mile. I don't think that it's not something I would want to go after anytime, but like if it was just for fun, for charity or something, I would definitely show up for it.
Do you get to pick your beer for when you do the beer mile races at a higher level?
I would think so because I think I see different kinds there.
Yeah, because that would have an impact, obviously, right? Because there's just so many different kinds, dark beer, light beer, whatever. I imagine everyone's doing a light beer, but
You would think.
yeah, I couldn't even tell you what the difference is other than one's dark and one's light. I have no idea what that means when I say it out loud. I just know it's a thing. So I know Corona is considered a light beer.
hmm A lot of the popular brands are light beers, like the Bud Lights, Coronas, Dos Equis, all that. They're all pretty light beers.
Yeah, anything Mexican's pretty light. Of
Mhm.
course, with Budweiser, you want to get like Bud Light or Bush Light or something like that. This
I
one's
go
all right. This
root
one's I was drinking this one for our fantasy draft this weekend. It's Flight. It's only got like you can see it there.
Huh.
So 95 calories, so it's not too bad. But it's a pretty light beer.
Well, I'm sucking down my clearly Canadian here in my glass bottle. I don't even know how many. Oh, 90 calories. There we go.
Yeah.
Sparkling water.
So your sparkling water has 5 less calories than my beer.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not saying my drink choices are any healthier than beer. I just choose not to drink beer. And like I said, it all comes down to a taste. I've just never found a beer that's tasted even remotely good to me. That's all. That's all it is. Like no alcohol has ever tasted good to me.
I've seen a lot of people joining the ranks of the McDonald's Coke fan club after the long run recently, Jake.
Smart people telling you don't know until you tried it.
There's
Something, I
nothing.
don't know if it's the carbonation level that they do in their Coke machine. Like it kicks different. I don't know.
It's there. So there's you can Google it because I've Googled it before. I had to do it. I probably even said it on here before, but it's the way that McDonald's stores their Coke canisters. So like there's an optimal condition for storage that Coca-Cola comes out and sells everybody like, hey, if you want your Coke to taste the best, do this. Well, most restaurants aren't willing to do that, but McDonald's does. McDonald's has like a deal with Coke that they will store the Coca-Cola barrels at their optimal conditions or whatever. So that's why.
Well, shout out to McDonald's because yeah, maybe
Keeping
McDonald's
your
should do
Coca-Cola in optimal Coke conditions.
McDonald's, do you have an ambassador program? Because Chase and I would be a great fit for your Coca-Cola product.
So I think so. I put down a couple sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffins the other morning too. So I could be a McDonald's ambassador.
So
What you put down was protein and carbs. You call it
That's exactly
sausage, egg,
right.
and cheese, but put down protein and carbs.
Yep.
Oh, Carolyn.
No, thank you. But I have started drinking Sprite after long runs, which I feel is the same thing, but I don't really drink a lot of caffeine because I can't, you know?
Well,
So
Sprite's not
Sprite,
caffeinated, right?
it's not, but it
Oh,
still
okay.
it's still carbonated and it's still refreshing. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I don't know
Yeah.
what it is. McDonald's does something right.
My favorite thing after a long run here recently, of course, I've been working with this company First Form for protein and nutrition here recently, and one of their proteins is their Formula One, which is right after your workout. It's a fast absorbing protein that you're supposed to take right after your workout. But I've been freezing some overnight and then making it into a slushy in the Ninja Creamy. And that has been, after my long run, that's what's up. That's where it's at. I even tried mixing it with a can of Coke and freezing it with a can of Coke to make it like a cherry lime. I've got the cherry lime flavor right now. So I'm making like cherry lime frozen Cokes and stuff like that.
You keep talking about this uh, smoothie, or the creamy
The
the
Ninja
creamy
Creamy,
machine
yeah.
that you have. Yeah. I
Yeah,
might.
it's literally like the best thing ever. I don't know how you haven't
It
got one.
might be go. It might be going on my Christmas wish list. We'll see.
I have ice cream out of that thing every night, protein ice cream, so it's low carb, low calorie, and it's just packed with protein. So it's just so good.
You know what? I just thought of a win-win, Chase, because this is a kitchen product and my wife loves kitchen products. So I think my wife might get a Ninja Creamy for Christmas. and maybe I just use it every once in a while or most of the time.
Yep. Protein ice cream, man, it is the best thing for making protein ice cream. And like I said, I've been making protein slushies with this thing here recently, and it is phenomenal. It is the best thing I've ever bought.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
what's been your elixir, Carolyn? Your post race like absolute refresher drink, or post run, I should say, post long run. You know what I
besides
mean.
Sprite, I can't think of anything. It's been Sprite so far.
Okay,
Yeah. It's
Sprite's good. Yeah,
yeah,
me,
just
it's been Coke,
yeah,
chocolate
just
milk.
sugar in it.
Mm-hmm. That's my biggest thing is like I have to have something with sugar.
Yeah.
Hmm? Yeah.
I've been doing, and I may have mentioned this before. I've been doing the G1M Sport drink mix by
Mm-hmm.
Bear Performance. Is that what it is?
Mhm.
And my friend Cruiser, who runs as part of the Florida Striders with us here, he's the one that got me onto it, and it's made a big difference these last 3 weeks because I've been bonking. Prior, like I talked about it before, I've been bonking on my long runs, bonking on my track workouts, and then I started taking this drink, and it's been a game changer. Um, and these last 3 weeks, I've built, with the exception of this weekend, we had a huge heat wave that went through, and I did end up cutting my long run short. But every workout I've done, with the exception of this weekend so far, has been great over the last 3 weeks, and I contribute a lot of that to G1M Sport.
You said G1M Sport?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's like the same stuff that I'm using with First Form right now. Like they have a formula that they call Enduraformance, and
Hmm.
it's the same as it's basically G1M Sport from BPN too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
So yeah,
carb drink. It's a carb
it's
loaded
a it's
drink.
a it's well, mine's more like a pre workout,
Okay.
but it kind of does a lot of the same things. And then you've got Enduraformance, and then you've got Ultraformance. That's like kind of their during workout type drink. Um, So yeah, First Form's doing a lot of good stuff too. So them BPN, there's a lot of good like up and coming supplement companies.
Yep.
Just
Yeah, I'm
BPN.
considering, and this is why I've been training with it for Chicago. I may do a mixture. I may bring a soft blast with me with some G1M Sport as a carb drink
I've been
for a
thinking the
portion
same
of the
thing.
race.
I ran with a handheld water bottle for the first time ever this weekend,
Yeah.
just trying it out because I don't really like it, but I don't know. It'll be all right. I got a tempo workout on my long run this coming
Yeah.
weekend, so that'll be a better test of it.
Well, if you have one, I just ordered it on Amazon. Actually, it's going to be delivered tomorrow, but I ordered a soft flask, literally a flask that once I'm done with it, I can literally just squish it and put it in my pocket,
Mm.
when I'm done. And that's what I plan on. I'm going to do some training runs with it, and that's what I plan on using in Chicago.
Mm.
And I'll do, just 12 ounces. That's all it holds, 12 ounces of the fluid. That'll get me by, for a little bit, and then I'll go to the SIS Better Fuel gels after that. That's the plan. We'll see. Well, I got to test it out, and on one of my long run days here.
Yeah.
What about you, Carolyn? Do you have a fuel plan for Chicago?
Yes. I take UCAN and Huma gels. And the Huma gels are the chia based gels.
Mhm.
And I always take the caffeine and then the extra electrolytes. So I'll take those every 3 miles. I'll alternate the UCAN and then the Huma every 3 miles. So
Then what do you just do the fluid on the course?
yeah, because they use Gatorade, and during my track workouts and stuff, I use something called Gator Light, which is the rapid hydration.
Oh yeah, I have
So
a
I'm
whole
already,
fridge of them.
yeah. And then my one of the groups I run with, actually both of them, use Gatorade, so I'm already used to all of that.
Yeah, that Gator Light, you taste the sodium in that instantly when
Oh my
you
god,
drink
I
it.
chug it. I just it's so good, and I like it better than Element, or a couple of those other sodium replacements. And I'm like, this just I'll chug it.
Pedialyte's still my go-to, but Gatorlight is they're pretty good for as far
Yeah,
as just grabbing something and going with it. Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, Pedialyte, Gator Light's essentially the
and
same.
same thing.
It's the
Yeah,
same thing. Like,
yeah,
maybe a slightly different flavor taste, but it
yeah.
does the same thing for you. And it's good for kids
It is good.
in moderation. I don't know. Well,
All right.
guys, oh, go ahead, Carolyn.
Nope, we have the same thought, so I'll let you take it over.
No, no, I was just going to say, I know we're approaching our time, but I wanted to do one quick check-in on our training. How are we doing for Chicago, and are we feeling confident?
So my hip is back to 100%. So hopefully we'll do okay at Chicago.
What about you, Chase?
Feeling all right. I think that I got a half marathon here in less than 2 weeks, so that'll be a real good barometer as to where I'm at. I did a 5K this past weekend, did okay, but I wore it because I was gonna try the Asics Metaspeed Skies. I broke out my Asics Meta Racer. Hold on, let me grab it. So the Asics Meta Racer was
Okay.
like Asics' first try at a carbon fiber plated shoe. So you can see like the stack height's not real big in it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a whole lot of foam, so it's really low stack height. But I wore them this weekend for a 5K, and I was just really up on my toes a whole lot. Left my calves really,
Burning.
really burning afterwards.
Yeah.
But that's all right. I like the shoe overall, but I like them more for like a track workout than getting them out on the road. But overall, the training's going good. I think I'll be all right come Chicago. Hopefully, 2:45 will be within reach.
And I think I'm on pace to be about 10 minutes behind you. Again, Garmin has way more faith in me than I do, but according to my times, I think a 2:55 is going to be like right there. Like barring no major setbacks in between now and then, and hopefully some good weather. I think I have a 2:55 in me, which should still be 2 minutes faster than Indianapolis, and I'll be happy with that. So we'll see. All right, guys. Well, another episode of Run Talk Live. in the books.
In the books.
Well, Carolyn,
where can everybody find us at?
Yep.
You can find us on all the things: Facebook, Spotify, YouTube. Where else? Anywhere else?
Instagram.
Instagram. Well, yeah. At RunTok Live. You can find me on TikTok at Carolyn McDuff and Instagram at Carolyn M. Levinway. Chase, where can people find you?
You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Chaser No Pacer. You can find me on X, Threads, whatever. Just go to my link tree and you'll find all that stuff. Link tree will be in the bio of this video.
And you can find me applying for the Brooks Run Happy team. I'll be writing some essays to them. Making sure that they really get my email.
We'll get some signs made for Chicago that say "Cultural Runner Brooks Ambassador 2025."
Yeah, there's nothing. I'm pretty sure I can do that, right? Who's to say that they have to tell me I'm a Brooks ambassador? I can just be a Brooks ambassador.
They're going to tell you not to wear their stuff? Is that?
Exactly.
Don't talk about us.
Exactly. So that's where you can find me. But if you don't find me there, you can also find me on TikTok at the Cultural Runner or on Instagram. And all the places. Cultural Runner. That's where I'm at.
All right. Well, that was another fun-filled episode of RunTok Live. Hope you all enjoyed us shooting from the hip tonight, really going off the cuff. We have fun just hanging out and talking anyway, so it's all. Might as well just hit record and listen to us ramble.
Until next time, guys.
This has been episode 43.
Peace.
Peace out.